G'day everybody, my name's Dave. I'm the tree change farmer, and today we're going to be doing some work on our UHI 1.2 mini digger. We're going to be putting this auger drive on the front here. We're going to take off this 500mm bucket and put the auger drive motor on, so we're going to run through how to do that. I've got my drive stick sitting there and the motor, and all this came with the mini digger. So when I bought it from UHI Industries in Sydney, it came with 9 attachments and the auger drive was one of them. I've modified this in an earlier video. You would have seen that we've put on the quick attach onto our arm of the loader here. We went through that process, and I've got the male ends of those plugs on the hydraulic lines there, and I like the idea of that because if you have one of these and you use it and you take it off, and if you store it on the ground, I just usually leave it flat, which I don't know if is a good thing on the ground. And what you'll find is if you don't have these sealed ends on it, that the hydraulic fluid runs back down the hoses, and you'll come in and you'll find a big pool of hydraulic fluid on the ground there, which isn't a good thing. So with those quick connects on the end, it seals those up and makes those nice and neat, and you won't lose any oil. So right, that's today's exercise, is to get these two things onto our mini digger. Try and not lose that. Where will I put that? Okay, I've got my auger motor here ready to put on. I've put my 2 pins in the top, and these pins are the same size as the buckets use. So in my case, when I got all these attachments from UHI, these pins came supplied. And this is going on to the quick hitch system, which we've looked at before. If you don't have a quick hitch, then I'm guessing what you probably have to do is to take these pins out here and then put these bolts through if you haven't got a quick attach system. And the other thing I'd just like to point out is there's a couple of, well, there's 2 ways of actually putting this auger drive motor on. So I've got the hoses here that are coming out the back that'll be on the inside of the boom arm, and the, I don't know what you call this thing, a support or a lifting arm is on the back. And I do it this way because when I've got it on the digger arm, I can turn the auger drive up and have it out of the way when I'm transporting it, and I'll show you that when I've actually got it on. I have seen photographs of people that put them on the other way, that they've got this arm on the inside and these hoses pointing out, but in my mind that might just get damaged if you're working in a tight situation or something, if the hoses are actually in the front of the boom arm rather than the back. So this is the way I do it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, it's just how I've worked it out to use, and it seems to work okay. Okay, so the motor is now in the quick hitch in this pin here. So I've lifted it up just with the front pin. I'm going to secure the rear now, so it's a case of just winding this bolt in, and then moves the arm in against this second pin here. Again, it just needs to be finger tight, and put that pin back in there, and away we go. So that should be locked on. Give it a wiggle and see if it falls off. Oh no, that's all good. One thing you'll notice on this is the pin here I've got between the mount and the actual motor. You'll see that the pin's sticking out a bit too far there, and that's the same size pin as these ones here, whereas it should be a slightly narrower pin. I don't know if I guess you could buy them online. It's just a 25mm or a 1-inch pin, but that's what I got with the unit. So it's not ideal, but I don't use it that often, so I don't worry about it. Okay, I've just put the driver bit onto the bottom of the auger motor. There's a bolt that just goes through with a nut that's on the other side. It seems to work okay. This is only a 200mm auger drive. You can get bigger sizes. You just got to be mindful of this has got a square drive pin in it. Some of the other auger motors that you can buy have multi-sided drive pins and stuff in them, so you've just got to make sure that whatever is in the drill bit is also in the motor. Okay, I'm just going to connect up my hydraulic hose now, take that plug out, and I'm not too sure which of these two lines have to go to each side. I'm not really concerned because I can easily swap them over if it's wrong. So I'll just take the cap off this one and we'll just see how easily it goes in. Click. Righto, so there we are. That's all connected and the hose goes down into the drive motor, and you can see what I was saying about having these connections at the rear of the unit with this arm at the front. So what it happens, it sort of tilts it back as it's moving. So that's all good. I'm just now going to, on the valve, control valve here, I'm just going to swing this around that way. So now my line is travelling through here, so the hydraulic fluid can now pass down this line. I'll do the same on the other side. Okay, we've got the engine running now, and this is the foot control here. So I've got it configured so when I press down it digs into the ground, and when I push it up it comes out of the ground. Okay, so we've tested that and the motor is going in the right direction. And now I can sort of demonstrate what I was talking about earlier with having this lifting arm on the front of the machine and the hoses coming out the back. So to me that's quite neat, where the hoses come out and go up to the quick connects there. And it allows you then to tilt the whole drive back towards the machine as you're travelling. So I'll come back here and that's what it looks like side on. If you had it around the other way, and you can certainly put it on the other way, and had this lifting arm on the back, then really to transport it you have to have, then the stick would be pointing out the front a bit like a spear, which I don't know if that's such a good thing. And I have seen both ways. I have seen this on the front and I've seen it on the back. For me, I usually use it this way. That doesn't mean you have to. Anyway, that's all good now. So that's on. I've tested that. The drive's going in the right direction and I can go and dig some holes. So I just find the mark on the ground and I can slew around a bit till I find that, which is good. Got it sitting just above the ground. If I press down on this pedal, it starts the auger drive, so now it's spinning in a clockwise direction. A bit more throttle. And boom down a little bit so it starts to bite. And it looks like it's going a little bit crooked. I can just come across a little bit to straighten it up again. So just pushing down with the boom a little bit. If it's a bit clay, which the soil is, it tends to slow the motor down a bit.